Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to thank you for clicking on today's video. I hope you will consider subscribing. I wanted to do, as promised, another mixing foundation video. So I used my more affordable drugstore options, and it's just, you have to watch this video. I beg of you, if nothing else, watch this video. It will give you such insight into how you can use affordable products. If you have, say, 3 foundations in your collection that are drugstore, but none of them really match you right or something is a little off, mix them together. I promise you, you will love the result. Something about mixing foundations is just magical. Anyways, I did that, but I also used mostly my affordable options for my full face. I did throw in a couple new products that I got that I just couldn't help but use. I was too excited, so I had to use them. So if you're curious how we got this look today, please keep on watching. All right, you guys, you ready for this? I'm so excited. I've got a bunch of my more affordable products set out here, and we're going to create an awesome look with it. I'm so excited. I haven't filmed in quite a while, and I'm just ready to do some makeup. It's been a while. I wanted to show you guys this because it's still available. It's one of the holiday sets from Sephora. It's the Laneige Midnight Minis 5-piece lip sleeping mask. And I already gave one to my daughter. She took the mint chocolate chip one. Mint chocolate. It comes with the berry, gummy bear, mango, mint chocolate, and sweet candy, which is kind of like cotton candy. And they are very small, but you only need a small amount. And it comes with the little spatula, but I gave that to her as well. But for 20 bucks, you get to try all of the different flavors of the lip mask. And they're amazing. I love using these before I do my makeup, or I'll put them on before bed. We're going to start with this just because I like to put on a little something before I do my makeup to give my lips some hydration. Because after you get out of the shower and do your skincare, your lips are like, hey, what about me? So I like to do this. Take a little bit on the spatula and then blend it on your finger. So a couple more things that I picked up from Sephora. The Milk Makeup, what's this called? Pore Eclipse Matte Setting Spray. I saw a girl, I think her name's Leah Janae, and she was doing like a declutter series, and she said this is one of the best actual matte setting sprays. Like, she could actually see that it's doing something to her skin. So I wanted to try this. I did go ahead and get the full size, and I'm hoping that it is as good as she says it is. We will see. We're going to test that out today. I got the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder. This says it has Upsolite technology. I have the Danessa Myricks blush, and I do love it. But this is in the shade Universal. You can get it in different shades, so you can use this product as an actual foundation powder hybrid. But the reason I got it, there's a girl, her name's Magdaline Janet. She has a YouTube channel that I've watched, and she influenced me to try this because she also has texture, and she likes to blur her pores and oily skin. So I have more of like normal to sometimes dry in the wintertime skin around here. And then through here, I have pores and my oils come through my T-zone. So I like to use more of like the blurring mattifying primers to help combat that. So this we're going to use today as a primer. It says a texture reducing, coverage boosting, blurring balm to powder that balances oils throughout the day while maintaining hydration. Powered by cutting edge blurring Swedish technology, Upsolite visually creates a soft focused effect on pores and fine lines. How to tap on with fingers to smooth and blur textured areas. That sounds right up my alley, guys. So I'm so excited to finally try this. I've wanted to for a long time, but it is kind of on the more expensive side. So I kind of talked myself out of it. But she also talks about how long it's lasted her. And I just feel like it would be a good investment, something to try. It has like a little spoon with it. So cute. It's like this brassy color. And this is what the product looks like. So we will put this on here in just a little bit. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Luster Duo. It is the lip gloss in the shades, there's two of them, Deep Taupe and Guava. So these shades are right up my alley. And this was a set for $23. The lip glosses themselves are a $20 lip gloss. So you're basically doing buy one, get one free. You're paying $3 more for another lip gloss. And the soft pink is one of my favorite shades of lip gloss right now. So I was very excited to try these two. Look at these colors. So pretty. So we will probably mix them today. I might use a little of each. We'll see how that goes. These new products and then the ABH lipstick. Yeah. Those are the only products that I'm using today that are more expensive. The rest of the products I'm going to use today are more affordable. So let's just jump right on in. You all know what I start with. I start with my brows. You know how I normally do it. But today we're going to do the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. And this is similar to my Benefit pencil that I absolutely love. They're almost what I would consider a dupe for each other. So I'm excited to show you this. I used to use this all the time, but ever since I found Benefit, I've been stuck on it. But this is just as good. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. Use the spoolie side, kind of fluff them up. Now I'm going to take this, make a little line there, and then I'll take it, turn my hand in a crazy way, and start making a few lines going upwards. Just kind of following my natural hairs. And then I will turn here, and we're going to, I went a little too far up. Take your spoolie and just take it away for now. And restart. It's okay to make mistakes. But that's about as high as I want my brow to go. So I'm just going to take this and go downwards to make my little tail. And then take it and fill in a little bit. And that's about all I want to do with this product. I'm going to add a few more strokes through here. And then we will finish the brows with the lift and snatch here in just a little bit. But for now, that's all I really want to do with the brows. All right, we're good for now. Let me do the other side and I'll come right back. Okay, I've got my brows to a good place, a good starting point. We always finish them at the end. So this is just a good outline. That's what I like to use the pencils for, just to fill in a little bit, get an outline, and then finish off with the pen to give more natural appearance. We're going to go back to the Shop Miss A days. We're going to use the Soft Base Nude Eye Primer. I used to be in love with this product. I haven't used it in quite a while because I've been obsessed with the MAC Paint Pot for quite a while now. This is just a little squeeze tube of a very yellowy nude colored base. And it does not take much. I like to take some on my finger and then warm it up. And it's almost like a concealer shade for me. And then I'll just take some on my eyelids. I don't want to put too much. I haven't used it in so long that I kind of forget how much I need. So I'm going to take a brush. I typically take this brush from Shop Miss A and use this to spread it around. It's much thinner than the MAC Paint Pot. The MAC Paint Pot, I feel, is very gripping, and it also dries down. But there are cons with that as well, because sometimes if you use too much powder with the MAC Paint Pot, it can make your eyelids look a little dry if you're wearing a sheer, like very simple eyeshadow look. So I would say if you're going for that kind of look, you would love this product because it's such a thin base, but it does cancel out all the veins in your eyelid, and it does make your eyeshadow last for such a long time without creasing, without being too dry. So I do really love this product, and I'm happy to share it with you guys again so you can see for yourself how affordable products can sometimes work just as good or better than the more expensive stuff. Take the sponge and then make sure it's pressed in. I'm going to set it with the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Pressed Powder in the shade Light. Like I said, we're going for the more affordable options, and this is something you can purchase from Amazon. I'm sure you can get it at most drugstores. I've seen that this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Powder, and I have to say it is quite similar to that, but this does have a little bit of radiance to it, like just a hint, not much. But the Charlotte Tilbury does not. You know the drill. I like to take this brush and put a little bit of the powder up into my brows, and that will help them last longer as well. For eyeshadow today, guys, I'm going to show you the infamous $1 palette from Shop Miss A, the Amuse Pro Artist eyeshadow palette. This one is a extra. I bought an extra because I found out that I loved it so much. It was only $1, and I was afraid it was going to sell out, so I bought me a backup. Well, as you can see, we had a casualty. Shop Miss A is usually really good about their packaging, but for whatever reason in this delivery, the bubble packaging had been popped, so I lost that eyeshadow. But I still have the one from my first order. So the gold shade is what got damaged, but we are going to use a little bit of that today, but we're also going to add in some extra stuff to help, because y'all know that I have to have a shade like this to blend, which is just like a powder shade. I could use a powder, but I don't want to. I also pulled out a few other affordable things. The Moira Cosmetics Lucent Cream Shadow in the shade Phoebe 26. This reminds me of the ColourPop shadows that I'm about to show you, the Super Shock. So I have this one in like a gold. That would be very pretty on top of the powder. Or I have this one from ColourPop, Kombucha. And then I have this one, Twitter Pated. This one's more pinky, so I don't think I'm going to use this one today, but it does have like a little bit of gold sparkle to it. Let me swatch it for you in my hand. See, it's just a very pretty orangey pink color. I don't think I'm going to use that one for sure. I'm going to put that one away. And then we have Born in LA, which is more of like a burnt orange, which would definitely match what I'm wearing today. Yeah, it's very pretty. So we'll see. I pulled out options. We'll see what we're working with at the end when it's time for shimmers. We're going to go for a fall look today with this palette. I'm going to start with this very light orange shade. That's going to be my main transition color. So just pack a bunch of that on there, and let me show you how we're going to create this look. I'm just going to start building it up. This is very light orange, almost yellow. And we're just putting it up here to be the first shade. Okay, I'm going to build it up one more layer. Now, I could use a more dense brush to pack the color on right away, but this is how I always do it. I always go for a light wash of color first. And the easiest way to do that is to build in light layers. So now I'm going to grab a more dense brush. Let's go for this one from Rose and Ben. And we're going to go into the deeper orange color up here. We're going to start with that. I'm just going to pack some on one side of the brush. What I'm going to do is just kind of pack it in the eye socket right there in the crease. And that's going to build up the orange in the look. We're going to do one more light layer. Okay, now I'm going to go into this shade right here. And I do apologize, they don't have names, but as you can see, we started here, here, and now we're going to here. Start with your lightest colors and then build to your deepest colors. We're going to do the same exact thing, just a little bit lower. Okay, keep this shade a little lower than the orange. And we're going to mainly keep it out here to about midpoint of where my pupil is. So here and down. And then I'm going to take another little bit of it and I'm going to pack it right here towards the lash line. Okay. I'm going to drag it in and meet it about the same length. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit more and just build up and then blend it out. That's what I love about this brush, is that it's a blending brush, but it's also like a packing brush. Such a multi-purpose type of brush. You can use it for several different ways. All right, I blended that color as much as I wanted to. Now I'm going to go into the deepest color. But for the deepest color, I'm going to use a smaller brush, the Angie Hot and Flashy A504. It's a very small blending brush. I'm going to go into the deepest burgundy color. I'm going to grab that on the tip of the brush, and we're going to build up right at the lash line in the outer V. Just build up that depth in the crease. You want to be able to see all of the colors. Adding a little bit more of that deepest shade. Okay. Now I'm going to go in the same brush. I'm going to take a little bit of the deepest orange, a little bit more of that to put right on top, just so we don't lose the orange. Perfect. And I'm going to grab the shade from the ColourPop palette that I use. That's like a powder shade. I'm going to blend the edges right under the brow bone. Just diffusing it a little bit. That first color, the light orange, one more time. All right, the gold shade in here, I just use it on my finger. It's very pretty. We're going to pack that right in the lid space. And you could totally just do this and be one and done, but I like to use a lighter gold towards the inner corner and just give it more dimension. So you can see here, a $1 palette gave that much sparkle and shine with my finger for one little pass. Like, that's not typical. And there's barely any, like there might be 2 or 3 glitter specks under my eye. That's it. It's such good quality for $1. I can't get over it. Let's try this Moira shadow called Phoebe. See how it's just a little bit lighter, more like pearlescent? It's actually not much lighter than that shade. It's just more sparkly, I think. A little bit more foiled looking. But we're going to just do that. And then, let's don't think I'm going to use the ColourPop Super Shocks, but there is a shade in this Nude Mood palette that I believe is the Super Shock formula. It's called Wink Wink. Take a little bit of that. And see, it's much more light champagne colored. Put that towards the inner corner. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just taking a little bit of what's left on my finger on top, just to kind of blend the shimmers together. Gorgeous. Like, this is so pretty, you guys. Let me finish up this eye and we'll move on to the eyeliner that I chose for this video. Hang on. What do y'all think? I love it. I have done this look many times with this palette, and each time it's so good. $1. Can you believe that? Now, I do apologize that it's not currently available on Shop Miss Day's website, but if you see an Amuse eyeshadow palette, try it. What could hurt? It's $1. For eyeliner, I have the Sephora Collection 12-Hour Colorful Crayon Contour Eye Pencil in Tiramisu. It is a matte formula. It is so good. I actually saw where Tati posted a video about dupes the other day, and she mentioned that this was a dupe for the Makeup by Mario. I think this is even better than the Makeup by Mario, in my opinion. And it is much cheaper, so if you're looking for a good eyeliner, try the Sephora collection. I like to put this in my upper waterline, and then I'll blend it out with an angled brush, like an angled liner brush. So you can see the difference without. Okay, that's really all I do with the eyeliner. And now I will grab an angled liner brush, and I'm going to use the darkest shade in this palette, which is like a black color. I'm going to use that to press down the liner to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And to give myself a little baby wing out here. I'm going to wipe one more time to get any fallout and to sharpen my wing a little bit. But there's really no fallout, you guys. It's so good. It's so good. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Universal Blurring Balm Powder. Let's try it out. I don't know exactly how much to use, but I'm going to take the little spatula that comes with it and just grab a very small amount. And let's see together. Let's start here on the cheeks. Okay, so it's very slippery. Very silicone-y. Let's try right here. I'm not sure what I think about this. We'll see how it works with the foundation, but it's very silicone-y. I wasn't expecting it to be so slippery. It's almost like Vaseline. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Okay, it's starting. Okay, once you really rub it in, it starts to feel more like a powder on the skin. Okay. I was a little worried there at first. Okay, now it's doing its thing. Whew. Had me scared. It's nice, and it does feel like a powder now. Like, it feels like there's powder on my hands. Okay, we're gonna let that sit. And for mascara today, you guys, this is the only drugstore mascara that I have open, the Telescopic Lift from L'Oreal. I absolutely hated this the first, second, and third time I used it, so let's try it again. I already curled my lashes. Let's see if we can get this to actually work for us today. I don't remember exactly which side you're supposed to use for which blah blah blah, but I'm just going to do what I normally do with my Fenty mascara and pray for the best. I remember you have to use a very little bit of this or it'll get really messy quick. My eyelashes are saying, what the heck are you doing right now? Where is our Fenty mascara? But we're gonna try it. We're not gonna count it out just yet. I may be able to get it to look really good with the technique I've been doing. So let me stop there. Use my tweezers to get them exactly where I want them. And then once this dries, we will try to recurl and see what happens. Okay, so they're already starting to kind of fall back down flat instead of holding the curl. I'm going to try to put a little bit more at the base right here to try to get them to lift up. And we'll see what happens when I recurl. It's not that good, guys. Okay, we're going to stop there with the mascara and we'll finish at the end. We'll see how it goes. So far, it's not as bad as I remember. I hated this mascara. I was so mad that I bought it and fell into the trap of the Michaela lie. Which she's come out and said, of course, she did add a wispy, and like, we should have figured that out because that's her, Michaela special. We should have known that. Duh. I love this eyeshadow look. So good. All right, you guys, are you ready to mix some drugstore foundations? I'm so excited for this part. All right, I'm just going to show you as I pump them out. I got to give them all a good shake. I've got the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation with Hyaluronic Acid Long Wear. And this one is in the shade, I believe, Neutral Macchiato. The tag came off. I'll look it up and put it on screen for you guys. How about that? This is a wonderful foundation that's around $11. 10 or 11, I can't remember. But we're going to do one pump of this on our little thing. Oh, okay, well, one pump was a lot of the Catrice, but we're just going to go with it. Go ahead and do this one too because this is also from Catrice. The HD Liquid Coverage Foundation in the shade Hazelnut Beige 36. This one is in a dropper. So you just drop 2 little drops. This one is a mattifying water and sweat proof formula with niacinamide, lasts up to 24 hours. I love Catrice foundations. They're really good. Now, I'm going to mix in the L'Oreal Infallible up to 24 hour, the Fresh Wear. This is in the shade 420, True Beige. Drop of that. Maybelline Super Stay 24 Hour Skin Tint with Vitamin C. We're going to mix a little bit of this. It's also a dropper. Just a little drop. Next up, I have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation. And the shade is Light 60N. Give a good shake. Do a, hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing here. Pump. I'm trying to do a very controlled light pump. Then I have the Maybelline Super Stay Activewear up to 30-hour foundation in 129 medium beige. And then lastly, the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 128 Warm Nude. Let me give this a good shake. This one doesn't have a pump on it, so I'm just going to try to lightly pour a tiny bit because we've already got quite a bit of foundation on here. You have to be very careful with this because it'll get messy. But it's a really good foundation. All of these are great, of course. That's why they're in my collection, but I'm excited to mix them up and see what happens. Because, listen, last time I did this, it was amazing. And I'm going to do it again because I have enough foundations to try more. This might be a little too light. Yeah, it's too light. So let me pick a darker one to add more of. All right, I've got the Maybelline Superstay in the shade 220, which is natural beige. It's a little darker. The Oma Beauty Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation, I have it in the shade Honey Honey T1N, which is a little dark on its own, so I'm going to add a little bit of that too. Our mixture here. That should correct my shade to where it'll work for me. And I'm just mixing it all up. Okay, so that looks still a little light, but we're going to go with it. We're going to start with that cheek. I'm going to use the Rose & Ben C42 brush. We're going to blend this out. Of course, I don't take it up under my eyes. Okay, the shade will be all right. Once we add bronzer and everything, it'll match better, but yeah, it'll be all right. So far, the coverage is phenomenal, but I'm just going ahead and dotting it all over the skin because that'll give it time to kind of oxidize a little bit, which is something I need it to do today. Typically, you don't want that to happen, but I do. So let's show you the blend. Got a little carried away with the amount, so I'm going to drag some down my neck to my ear, and then we'll use a sponge to absorb some of it and press it in. I'm not having any weird peeling or anything from that primer, so that's good. Let's use the Rose & Ben C31 brush to blend the foundation between my brows. I just picked up a little bit from the pan. Okay. I'm going to take the Stands Out sponge. I've been obsessed with this again ever since my last video that I did, because when you press your foundation in with this sponge, it does some like magic. I'm not even kidding. Alright, I'm going to press it in. I'm not going to add any more of the foundation because there was a lot on my skin already. So I really want to absorb some of it and press it into the skin. And it is looking a little on the light side, but we'll bronze up and it should be just fine. Look at my skin. True test for me is like around my nose area. It's looking really good. There's still a lot left, but that's my fault. So the foundation is blended and it's looking really good. I'm going to use the Moira Stay Golden Cream Bronzer today. It's been a long time since I've used this product, so I can't remember what my thoughts were. I'm going to use the BK Beauty 109 brush. This is the shade. Did I tell you the shade? Medium tan. Alright, I'm just going to pick some of it up on the brush. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I do want it to bronze me up because this shade is just a little light that I created. I like to start the product back here and then blend it up towards my hairline, right above my ear. It is just melting right into the skin. Looks good. A little more, we'll do this side together. I really like it. I don't remember what my thoughts were last time, but it has been sitting in my drawer, not getting the love. So I figured this is the perfect time to try it out. I'm trying to build it up and see what happens. See if I can get a little bit more pigment. We can. One layer would have been perfect on a normal day, but we needed a little extra color. So let's see what the forehead does here. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of this. It may be a little warm to put on the side of my nose, but you don't know until you try it. So I'm just taking a little bit on this, the Morphe V105 brush. It looks like this. I picked up some of the product and I'm going to stamp it on my nose. And then a little down here. Just make sure bottom lip up here a little bigger. I'm just going to press in with the sponge. So far, everything is looking really good. I'm very happy with my complexion. This is a winner, guys. It's really nice. I like it. I'm going to take the 109 brush that I used for the face and just kind of gently buff that in. My hair is getting in my face. It's good enough. We will use concealer to fix it. Now, for cream blush, I picked the Honest. It's called the Honest Beauty Cream Cheek Lip Color in Rose Pink. This is the shade. It's very fair, but let's see. It's been a long time since I've used it, so I'm just going to warm some up on my finger. Put it on the back of my hand here. It's a swatch to show you. It's very pale pink. It might work, it might not. I don't know. Let's use the 109 again. Pick some of that up from my hand. Okay, it's adding a little bit of pink. I remember loving this, but it is a little sticky, so make sure you set it down really good. Yeah, it's a little bit more sticky and tacky on the skin. A little more than I prefer, but it's nice. And I think that helps the longevity. If I remember right, I remember loving this. It used to be in my makeup bag all the time because I don't like a very bright, punchy blush. So this is right up my alley. I'm just going to take the Stands Out sponge to press it in. I'm going to take a little bit of the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. We're going to use this to go ahead and set all that in, but it's also going to help rehydrate. So when I go in with concealer, hopefully we'll have good hydration. I have the Pacifica Dreamlit Glow Concealer in the shade 9, which I think is like a light medium shade, if I'm not mistaken. I will put it on screen for you guys because I don't remember off the top of my head what it is. But this, last time I used it, I freaking loved it. But if it is not light enough for my under eyes, I will use a mixture. I will mix in the Winky Lux Peeper Perfect Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer in the shade Light Beige. So I have this too if this is not bright enough on its own. We will see. But I remember that I really liked this last time I used it. Oh, it's brightening. It's brightening enough, I think. We should be able to get by with that. It's good. About all I want to use. Do the Sephora number 71 brush today. I'm going to start with my nose and just pat this in. And we'll let that kind of sit there for a second. Yeah, this is nice and brightening. I've seen mixed reviews of this, but I feel like if you don't use a lot, it's wonderful. I've used it several times and loved it. It wasn't too heavy, but it is a thicker consistency. I don't know. It's good. I really like it. I think it lays down nicely and it gives good coverage. It's very brightening and it doesn't crease very much. So what else could you ask for? Now, Pacifica is technically a drugstore brand. You can get it at Target. You can probably get it on Amazon too. I'll list it wherever you can find it. But it's more pricey for the drugstore. Yeah, that blended beautifully. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not using a lot of product right through here because that's where you smile and get your creases. So I want to minimize how much product is on top of those creases. You want to kind of keep it here and then feather it out. My lashes are already kind of falling down a little bit. Now I'm going to take the sponge from Real Techniques, the Miracle Concealer Sponge. I'm going to use the flat side first and press it in on my nose, around that contour. Now I'm going to take this side and press it in. Look how good that looks. It's nice and radiant. I love it. So if you don't use a lot of powder, you're still going to have a nice radiant under eye. And for under eye powder, I'm going to use the Hard Candy Chilling Wonder Powder, the Sheer Envy Loose Powder. It says oil controlling, but I love this powder for under the eyes. It's very micro fine. I'm going to use the Sigma Soft Blend 60 brush. It's super soft, and I haven't used it in a while. So I'm going to pick up some product from there, and then I'm going to put it in the cap, the leftovers, because I just wanted to show you how super micro fine this is. Look how much is in the cap now from me just picking it up and then knocking off the excess. Crazy. I literally just dipped the brush in and that's how much powder got on there. All right. I don't want to set a lot because I want to keep that nice radiance under there, but I don't want it to crease or go anywhere either. So there's a fine line you don't want to cross. All right, I think I've got my under eyes where I want it to set. So now I'm going to take the soft blend brush and I like to start. Okay, I think I've got it where I want it. Now let me show you. How lightly I want to set this. Like, barely. And I hope the camera picks up how it's just barely blurring it out. Let's see if we can see a difference. Set, not set. You can see the shine. There's still shine, but it's very blurred. So I'm just picking up the powder from the cap now. And I like to just make sure there's powder on all sides of the brush. My sponge, making sure that I don't have any creases. You do not want to set creases. Cannot stress enough how important that is. All right, let's try again. I love how softly it sets it. so that there's still that radiance coming through. I don't use this hard candy powder all over the face because it does have a slight bit of radiance to it. Face today, I'm going to use the Honest Beauty powder, and it is the Invisible Blurring Loose Powder. This has a little protective cap and then the netting, which is not my favorite, but it does keep it cleaner. And we're going to use the Stands Out sponge to set my face. It is so blurring. It's a really good powder. Brush from It Cosmetics to get the leftover powder and dust it over my face. Okay, so now we are super powdered. Let's do some contour bronzer. I've got the Hailey's Beauty Resculpt Smoothing Contour Powder in the shade Medium. This is one of my favorite contour powders that I own. It's so good. And it's going to bring back some color. Isn't that so pretty? And I don't really need any more on my nose, so I'm just taking what's left. Just kind of blending it in. Nice. For blush, I'm going to use the ColourPop blush in the shade Swirled. And it's a little cooler pink than I normally go for, but we're going to see, because it's one of my only matte formula blushes that I have that's drugstore or affordable. So we're going to see what this looks like with this. Maybe a little too pink. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll use the It Bye Bye Pores blush. I'm going to use that today in the shade Naturally Pretty. Okay. Let's go ahead and do lips. They're awful dry. I'm going to use the Moira Cosmetics Must Have Lip Liner in Rose Beige. I love this lip liner. It's so good. So pretty. ABH lipstick in the shade Tease, one of my absolute favorites. This is almost gone, so I got me a backup when it was on sale. It's a satin formula. So it goes on and it feels kind of matte, but it has a little sheen to it. It's perfect. These are the new ABH lip glosses. This is the Deep Taupe shade. This is what it looks like. Okay, so that just deepened it up a little, not much. It really goes with the lip liner. And then, because I'm extra and I want to show you all both, this is the shade Guava, which is lighter color. Very pretty. Back in with the NYX eyebrow pencil to correct anything that got messed up from doing my foundation and powder. The NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen in the shade Brunette. I'm going to do the lash curler one more time. Now, I did see a couple hacks that I want to try out soon, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. I know this kind of foundation, it's kind of a hack, I guess, mixing formulas, but I'm going to do a separate hack video because there's a few that I really want to try. And spoiler alert, one of them has to do with an eyelash curler. All right, so I'm going to recurl and see what happens. Okay, that definitely helped a lot. Sometimes I'll go back in with my Fenty mascara and add more, but I don't think I want to do that with this mascara because I'm afraid of it. I mean, that looks pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. Leave it alone. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the Milk Makeup setting spray now. I like to do my setting spray first, and then I'll go in with the lower lash mascara. Nice mister. It's a nice mister, but it's one of those that's so fine that you can't really tell if you're getting an even application or not. But we'll see. I like to go back in with my sponge, press in, make sure that I don't have any like water droplets on my face from the setting spray. You guys, this looks really good. It looks like it's going to last well too, so hopefully I'm right. I'm not using the telescopic lift on my lower lashes. I just cannot do that. So I'm going to use my Lancome. You know the drill. My It Cosmetics highlighter that I always use under my brow. All right. I think that is a completed look with more drugstore affordable products. Everything looks so good. I'm very happy with today's look. So let me get close so you all can take one last look. What do y'all think? I love it. I am very happy with this look. Everything was very affordable, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you guys soon. I'm going to film a few more videos coming up. I'm going to do a top 3 of every category, a hack video where I have a few hacks on to try out, and then a testing some new products that are on the way. So I will see you all very, very soon. Please like, subscribe, share. Let's build this channel a little bit more. I'm up to 95 subscribers as of yesterday. So if we can get to that 100 mark, I'll probably just go ahead and do the giveaway because I'm so excited. I really do appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you soon.